The lights in the giant space station dimmed as Admiral Kethvar walked into the meeting room. His tall blue body moved slowly, and his 4 arms crossed behind his back. The other alien leaders sat around a circular table that floated in the middle of the room. Each one looked worried. "We have a problem," Admiral Kethvar said. His voice was deep and made the walls shake a little. 3 teams, 3 different times, all gone. Commander Yelnash, who had green skin and big black eyes, leaned forward. "Tell us again about the planet." "Earth. 3rd planet from a yellow star. The humans call it Sol. We thought they were simple creatures. We were wrong." Admiral Kethvar touched a button on the table. A blue light showed a picture of Earth floating above them. "Beautiful planet," said General Morkes. Her red skin looked darker in the blue light. "But something is very wrong there." Admiral Kethvar nodded. "1 year ago, we sent Commander Veltar and his team, 5 of our best scouts. They can become invisible and read the thoughts of simple creatures. They should have returned in 1 month. But they never came back." "Commander," Yelnash said. "No signals, no messages, nothing." Admiral Kethvar touched another button. Pictures of the missing scouts appeared in the air. "So we sent the Phazon shapeshifters. They can look like any creature they see. They are masters of hiding." "They vanished too," General Morkes said quietly. "Yes. And then we sent the Nixari, mind readers. They can read thoughts from space. They don't even need to land on planets." Admiral Kethvar's 4 arms moved as he talked. They also disappeared. The room was quiet for a long time. Finally, Commander Yelnash spoke. "What do we know about this planet Earth? The humans are young. They only learned to fly a few hundred years ago. They fight each other often. They have simple weapons and simple machines." Admiral Kethvar paused. "At least, that is what our long-range scans showed us." "Maybe our scans were wrong," General Morkes said. Far away from the space station on the planet Earth, Dr. Jiho Kim worked late in his laboratory. The building was quiet except for the soft sounds of his machines. He looked at the numbers on his computer screen and rubbed his tired eyes. "This doesn't make sense," he said to himself. Dr. Jiho was a quantum physics scientist at Seoul National University. He studied very small particles and how they moved through space and time. Tonight his machines were showing him something strange. "Nari, come look at this," he called to his research partner. Dr. Nari Park walked over from her desk. She was younger than Jiho and always asked good questions. "What is it?" "Look at these readings. The electromagnetic fields around our planet are bending." Jiho pointed at the screen. "Something is making space itself twist." Nari looked at the numbers. Her eyes grew wide. "This is impossible. Nothing we know can do this." "I know. But the machines don't lie." Jiho saved the data to his computer. "This started 3 days ago, and it's getting stronger." "Should we tell someone?" Nari asked. "Who would believe us? We need more proof first." Jiho looked out the window at the night sky. The stars looked normal, but he knew something was wrong. On Jeju Island, far from Seoul, Do-hyun Choi sat in his small house near the ocean. He used to work for the military, fixing radio equipment. Now he was a fisherman, but he still loved playing, with radios and electronic devices. Tonight, his special radio was picking up signals that made no sense. "What are you?" he said, adjusting the dials on his radio. The sounds were not random like normal space noise. They had patterns. They repeated. They sounded like someone was trying to talk, but in a language he had never heard before. Do-hyun wrote down the times when the signals came. He drew pictures of the sound patterns. He had been doing this for weeks, and he was starting to see something important. The signals always came from the same places, and those places matched locations where strange things had been happening. People going missing, entire families disappearing from small villages, research teams that went into the mountains and never came back. "This is not normal," Do-hyun said to his cat, who was sleeping on his radio equipment. Back in space, Admiral Kethvar was getting more worried. The other alien leaders were asking hard questions. How do we lose 3 entire teams? Asked Ambassador Zektor. His voice was high and squeaky. Our technology is thousands of years ahead of theirs. That is what we thought, Admiral Kethvar said. But something on that planet is very dangerous. Or very smart, General Morkes added. Commander, Yelnash stood up. We need to send a bigger force, not just scouts, warriors. No, said a new voice. Everyone turned to look at High Counselor Merdane, the oldest member of their group. If 3 scout teams vanished without a trace, a bigger force might also vanish. Then what do you suggest? Admiral Kethvar asked. We watch. We wait. We learn. High Counselor Merdane's ancient voice was wise but worried. Something on Earth is taking our people. We need to know what it is before we lose more. Dr. Jiho Kim couldn't sleep. The strange readings from his machines kept growing stronger. He called his old friend Taehyun Seo, who worked for the government. Taehyun, I need to talk to you about something important, Jiho said into his phone. It's very late, Jiho. Can this wait until morning? Taehyun's voice sounded tired. No, I think something is coming to Earth. Something big. There was silence on the phone. Then Taehyun said, Come to my office tomorrow. Bring all your data. Jiho hung up the phone and looked at his computer screen again. The numbers were getting bigger. Whatever was happening to the space around Earth was getting stronger every hour. On his island, Do-Yun Choi made a discovery that scared him. He had been tracking the strange radio signals for 2 months. Now he could see the pattern, clearly. The signals were not random, they were following a grid. Someone or something was systematically checking every part of Earth, and wherever the signals went, people disappeared. Do-Yun looked at his map. Red marks showed where the signals had been strongest. Black marks showed where people had vanished. They matched perfectly. They're hunting, he whispered to himself. But hunting for what? In her laboratory, Dr. Nari Park made her own frightening discovery. The space-time distortions around Earth were not natural. They had a purpose. Something was using advanced technology to bend space itself around their planet. Jiho, you need to see this, she called. Dr. Jiho Kim rushed over to her computer. What did you find? The distortions aren't random, they're forming a pattern like a... Nari paused, trying to find the right words. Like a cage. A cage? Something is trapping signals around our planet. Nothing can get in or out without being detected. Nari's hands shook as she pointed at the screen. Whatever is doing this has technology far beyond anything we've ever seen. High above Earth, in space where human telescopes could not see them, the remains of 3 alien scout ships drifted silently. They were empty. Their crews were gone. Their computers had been wiped clean. But deep inside Earth, in places humans didn't know existed, the missing aliens were very much alive. They sat in comfortable rooms, learning about humanity, and what they learned terrified them more than any weapon ever could. The humans were not simple, they were not primitive. They were something the galaxy had never seen before, something that could learn and adapt faster than should be possible, and now the galaxy was sending more scouts to find them. High Inquisitor Mordak was not like the other alien leaders. Where they talked and worried, he acted. His black armor made him look like death itself, and his reputation for solving problems with violence was known across the galaxy. Enough, he said, his voice cutting through the arguments in the council chamber. You have lost 3 teams because you sent them in secret, like thieves in the night. Admiral Kethvar turned to face him. And what would you do differently? I will not hide. I will take a full investigation fleet to this Earth. We will scan every rock, every tree, every human until we find our missing people. Mordek's red eyes glowed in the dim light. And if the humans have harmed them, I will turn their planet into dust. The other council members looked uncomfortable. High Inquisitor Mordak had destroyed entire civilizations before, but they were desperate for answers. How many ships? Asked General Morkes. 50. Plus support vessels, plus my personal command ship. Mordak smiled, showing his sharp teeth. If something on Earth can make 50 ships disappear, then we know we are dealing with something truly dangerous. Back on Earth, Dr. Jiho Kim sat in his friend's government office. Taehyun Seo looked at the data on his computer screen with growing alarm. "Are you certain about these readings?" Taehyun asked. "Yes. Something is bending space-time around our entire planet. The energy required would be enormous." Jiho leaned forward. "Taehyun, what does your department know about UFO sightings?" Taehyun was quiet for a long moment. "More than I can tell you." "What does that mean?" "It means some things are classified above my level." Taehyun closed the computer file. "But I can tell you this. Your readings match some very interesting reports we've been getting." "What kind of reports?" "People disappearing in patterns, electromagnetic, anomalies in remote areas, radio signals that don't match any known technology." Taehyun stood up and walked to his window. "Jiho, I think we're not alone." Dr. Nari Park worked through the night in her laboratory. The quantum field readings were becoming clearer, and what she found made her hands shake. The distortion field around Earth was not just hiding their planet. It was doing something much more complex. "It's a time differential," she whispered to herself. The field was making time move differently inside Earth's atmosphere compared to the space around it. Someone had turned their entire planet into a time bubble. But why? Her computer beeped with a message. It was from a colleague in Tokyo who had been tracking similar readings. Then another message came from a scientist in Germany, then one from Brazil. Scientists all over the world were detecting the same thing. Do-Yun Choi couldn't sleep. The radio signals were getting stronger every night, and now he could hear new patterns. It sounded like many different voices trying to communicate, but they were not human voices. He had mapped over 300 disappearances across South Korea, Japan, and China. Every single one matched the location of strong radio signals. Something was definitely taking people, and it was following a systematic pattern. Do-Hyun picked up his phone and called the local police. "I need to report a pattern in missing persons cases." "Sir, individual missing persons cases are handled by local departments," the officer said. "No, you don't understand. This is bigger. Someone is taking people from all over Asia following a grid pattern." Do-Hyun looked at his maps. "I have proof." "Sir, I'm going to transfer you to our Special Investigations Unit." The phone rang several times before a woman answered. "This is Detective Minji Yu. I understand you have information about missing persons?" "Yes, I've been tracking radio signals that match the locations where people have disappeared. Over 300 cases in the last year." There was silence on the phone. Then Detective Yu said, "Can you bring your data to Seoul? I think we need to talk." High Inquisitor Mordak's fleet moved through space toward Earth. 50 warships, each one capable of destroying a city. His command ship, the Death's Hand, led the formation. "ETA to the target system?" Mordak asked his bridge crew. 16 hours, my lord," replied his navigation officer. "Good. Begin active scanning as soon as we reach the outer system. I want to know everything about this planet before we arrive." "Yes, my lord. What are our rules of engagement?" Mordak looked at the image of Earth on his main screen. The blue and green planet looked peaceful and innocent. "Scan first. If they cooperate, we will be merciful. If they resist..." He touched the weapon controls on his chair. "There will be no mercy." Dr. Jiho Kim and his friend, Taehyun Seo, drove through the mountains outside Seoul. Taehyun had received orders to investigate a facility that officially didn't exist. "Where exactly are we going?" Jiho asked. "To see something that might explain your readings." Taehyun turned down a dirt road that led deep into the forest. "But first you need to sign this." He handed Jiho a thick document marked with official stamps and red warning labels. "A secrecy agreement? The most serious one our government has. If you tell anyone what you're about to see, you'll spend the rest of your life in prison." Taehyun stopped the car in front of a gate that looked like it led to a small research station. "Are you ready to learn something that will change everything you believe about our world?" Jiho signed the papers with shaking hands. 2 guards checked their identification and waved them through. They drove down into an underground tunnel that seemed to go on forever. Finally, they reached a massive underground facility that stretched as far as the eye could see. "Welcome to Deep Site 7, Taehyun said. Jiho stared in amazement. The underground complex was filled with technology he had never seen before. Strange vehicles that seemed to float without engines, computers that projected images in empty air, and working alongside human scientists were beings that definitely were not human. "My God," Jiho whispered. "How long has this been here?" 50 years, said a new voice. They turned to see a tall man in a white coat walking toward them. "Dr. Sun Ho Han, Project Director. I understand you've been detecting some unusual readings lately." "You're Korean," Jiho said, still staring at the alien technology around them. "Yes. This project involves scientists from every major nation on Earth. We've been working together since the first contact." Dr. Han gestured for them to follow him deeper into the facility. "Your quantum readings are picking up the time differential field we've placed around Earth. We did this? We learned how to do this. There's a difference." Dr. Han led them to an observation window that looked down into a huge hangar. Inside were dozens of spacecraft that were clearly not built by humans. Every one of those ships belonged to aliens who came to scout our planet. "Where are the aliens?" Taehyun asked. "Some are working with us. Others are comfortable guests in our security wing. And a few—" Dr. Han paused. "A few chose to become something more." Detective Minji Yu met Do-Yoon Choi at a coffee shop in Seoul. She looked at his maps and data with growing excitement. "This is incredible work," she said. "You've tracked patterns that our best computers missed." "What's really happening?" Do-Hyun asked. "Are aliens taking people?" "It's more complicated than that." Minji looked around the coffee shop to make sure no one was listening. "The people who disappear aren't being taken against their will, they're being recruited." "Recruited for what?" "To help save our planet." Minji folded up the maps. "Mr. Choi, how would you like to see something amazing?" Dr. Nari Park received a phone call that changed her life. The voice on the other end spoke perfect Korean, but something about the accent was wrong. "Dr. Park, my name is Kyung. I work with Dr. Jiho Kim's friend at the government. We need your help with a very important project." "What kind of project?" "The kind that will determine whether humanity survives the next few months." The voice paused. "We know about your time differential research. We know you've discovered the field around Earth. We need someone with your skills." "I don't understand." "You will. Can you come to the address I'm about to give you? Come alone, and tell no one where you're going." Nari wrote down the address with trembling hands. Something told her that her life was about to change forever. High Inquisitor Mordak's fleet reached the edge of Earth's solar system. Immediately, their sensors began detecting the time differential field around the planet. "Interesting," Mordak said. "The humans have learned to manipulate time itself." "My lord, that should be impossible for a primitive species," his science officer said. "Yes, it should be." Mordak stood up from his command chair. "Begin full spectrum scans of the planet. I want to know exactly what we're dealing with." "Yes, my lord." The scans revealed something that made Mordak's blood run cold. The planet was not defenseless. Hidden in space around Earth were dozens of structures that their sensors could barely detect. And those structures were armed with weapons that shouldn't exist. "My lord," his weapons officer said, "I'm detecting energy signatures that match Nixari plasma cannon technology. But the power levels are far beyond anything the Nixari ever built." Mordak smiled his dangerous smile. "It seems our missing scouts have been teaching the humans some interesting lessons." He was looking forward to teaching them some lessons of his own. High Inquisitor Mordak watched his fleet disappear one ship at a time. They crossed into Earth's atmosphere and simply vanished from all sensors. No explosions. No distress signals. Just gone. 47 ships lost, my lord. His communications officer reported with fear in his voice. "Send one more probe," Mordak ordered. "Maximum data transmission until the moment it disappears." The probe launched and immediately began sending information back to Mordak's command ship. The images it transmitted made everyone on the bridge stop and stare. Humans were working alongside technology that was clearly alien. But they weren't just using it. They were improving it, making it better. In the final image before the probe vanished, they saw a human woman working on a device that combined human computer technology with alien power systems. "Impossible," whispered the science officer. "No," Mordak said grimly. "Just very, very dangerous." Dr. Jiho Kim followed Dr. Sunho Han deeper into the underground facility. The things he saw made his mind struggle to understand reality. Humans and aliens working together on projects that seemed like magic. "How is this possible?" Jiho asked as they watched a team mixing human engineers with tall, blue-skinned aliens. 50 years ago, the first alien scout ship crashed in our mountains, Dr. Han explained. The pilot was dying, but he managed to send a message before he died, a warning. What kind of warning? That more scouts would come. That if Earth seemed too primitive, the galaxy would ignore us. But if we seemed too advanced, they would destroy us. Dr. Han stopped walking and turned to face Jiho. "So we made a choice." "What choice?" "To hide, to learn, to prepare." Dr. Han gestured around the facility. "Every alien scout that has come to Earth has faced the same decision. Join us, or remain our comfortable guests until we're ready to reveal ourselves." "And they choose to join?" "Most do. Because they learn what we learned from that first dying pilot. The galaxy is not a peaceful place. It's ruled by fear. Fear of species that might become too powerful." Dr. Han led Jiho to another observation window. "And humans? We learn fast, faster than should be possible." Through the window, Jiho saw a workshop where humans were building spacecraft. But these ships looked different from the alien vessels. They were sleeker, more advanced, combining the best of human and alien technology. "My God," Jiho breathed. "We're not the primitive species they think we are. No, we're something much more dangerous. We're a species that gets stronger every time someone tries to defeat us." Detective Minji Yu led Do-hyun Choi through a hidden entrance in a Seoul subway station. They took an elevator that went down, much further than any subway tunnel. "Where are we going?" Do-hyun asked. "To see the truth," Minji replied. "You've been tracking the disappearances better than anyone. You deserve to know what's really happening." The elevator opened to reveal a bustling command center filled with people from many different countries. Screens showed images from all over Earth, tracking signals and movements that Do-hyun recognized from his radio intercepts. "Welcome to the Global Defense Initiative," Minji said. "We've been watching the aliens watch us for decades. But the missing people are volunteers. Every person who disappears has chosen to join our cause. We offer them a chance to help save humanity, and most say yes." Minji led him to a large screen showing a map of the world. "The aliens think they're conducting secret reconnaissance. What they don't know is that we've been studying them right back." A woman with short hair and tired eyes approached them. "You must be Do-hyun Choi. I'm Colonel Yuna Kim. Your signal tracking has been very helpful." "You've been watching me?" "We've been watching everyone who gets too close to the truth. But instead of silencing them, we recruit them." Colonel Yuna smiled. "Would you like to see something amazing?" She led them to another section of the command center where people were working with technology that definitely wasn't human. But, unlike in the underground facility, here the humans seemed to be in charge. "We don't just learn from alien technology," Colonel Yuna explained. "We make it better. Every scout ship that comes to Earth teaches us something new, and we use that knowledge to prepare for what we know is coming." "What's coming?" "First contact. But not the peaceful kind you see in movies. The kind where a powerful galaxy decides whether to accept us or destroy us." Dr. Nari Park arrived at the address the mysterious caller had given her. It looked like an ordinary office building, but when she pressed the elevator button for the basement, it required a special key card that was waiting for her at the front desk. The elevator went down for a very long time. When the doors opened, she found herself in a laboratory that made her own university equipment look like toys. And working at one of the stations was a being that was clearly not human. "Dr. Park," said a voice behind her. She turned to see a man approaching, but something about his movements seemed wrong. "I am Kyung. Thank you for coming." "You're not human," she said. No. I am Keth Mali. My people were the first to find Earth 50 years ago. Kyung's appearance shifted slightly, revealing blue skin and larger eyes. I was the scout who chose to warn humanity instead of reporting back to the galaxy. Why? Because I learned something that terrified me. Humans don't just adapt to new technology. You evolve with it, you become something new. Kyung gestured around the laboratory. In 50 years working with my people, you have advanced faster than most species do in 1,000 years. Nari looked at the equipment around her. She could see human designs merged with alien technology, but the combinations were more advanced than either source. We're not just learning from you, we're surpassing you. Yes. And that is what will save both our species. Kyung led her to a computer showing complex calculations. Your research into time differentials was the missing piece we needed. With your help, we can perfect the time dilation field around Earth. What does that accomplish? It gives us more time to prepare. Every day that passes on Earth equals weeks in normal space. While our enemies think they're moving quickly, we're preparing at an accelerated rate. Kyung smiled. Your quantum field research will let us control time itself. High Inquisitor Mordak realized he was dealing with something unprecedented. His entire invasion fleet had been neutralized without a single shot being fired. The humans hadn't destroyed his ships. They had captured them. My lord, his communications officer said, we're receiving a transmission from the planet's surface. Put it through. The main screen showed a human woman in a military uniform. Behind her stood figures that Mordak recognized as members of several different alien species, including some from his own fleet. High Inquisitor Mordak, the woman said in perfect galactic standard. I am Admiral Esol Park of Earth Defense Command. Your crews are safe and unharmed. They are currently learning about our civilization, just as we learned about theirs. You will release my ships immediately, Mordak growled. Your ships are not prisoners. Your crews are guests. Many have already requested to join our cause. Admiral Park smiled. Your invasion fleet was not destroyed, High Inquisitor. It was recruited. Impossible. Nothing is impossible when you approach problems with curiosity instead of violence. Admiral Park gestured to the aliens standing behind her. Every species that comes to Earth makes the same discovery. We don't conquer. We collaborate. Mordak was silent for a long moment. What do you want? To show you something that will change everything you believe about the galaxy. Admiral Park's expression became serious. High Inquisitor, what do you know about species that evolve? Species don't evolve. They are what they are. Exactly, and that is why the galaxy is stagnant. That is why civilizations rise and fall in the same patterns for millions of years. Admiral Park stepped closer to the camera. But humans do something different. We change, we adapt, we become something new, and we help others do the same. Dr. Ji-Ho Kim, Dr. Nari Park, Do-Hyun Choi, Detective Minji Yu, and dozens of other humans found themselves gathered in a massive underground chamber. Around them stood aliens from many different species, all working together on a project that dwarfed anything any single civilization had ever attempted. Welcome to Operation Deep Future, Dr. Sun Ho Han announced to the group. For 50 years we have been preparing for this moment. The moment when the galaxy would send a force too large to simply recruit or hide from. The chamber filled with holographic displays showing Earth's hidden defenses. Orbital platforms that had been disguised as space debris. Underground cities connected by teleportation networks that no single alien species had ever mastered. Fleets of ships that combined the best technology from dozens of different civilizations. But our greatest weapon, Dr. Han continued, is not our technology. It is our approach. Every species that has come to Earth has discovered the same thing. Cooperation is more powerful than conquest. Kyung stepped forward. My people fled to Earth because the galaxy would have destroyed us for being different. Here, we learned that being different is strength. Your time differential research, Dr. Han said to Nari, allows us to prepare for any attack. Your signal tracking, he said to Do-Yun, helps us find every scout before they can report our true capabilities. Your investigation work, he said, to Minji, helps us identify people who can handle the truth. And my quantum readings? Jiho asked. The emergency session of the Galactic Council was unlike anything in recorded history. Representatives from every major civilization gathered in the Great Chamber as Admiral Kethvar played High Inquisitor Mordak's final transmission. An entire investigation fleet, gone, Admiral Kethvar announced to the shocked assembly. Not destroyed, recruited. The humans have somehow convinced our own people to join them. This is impossible, declared Senator Vexara of the Crystalline Collective. No primitive species has ever turned our military forces against us. That is exactly the problem, said a new voice. The chamber fell silent as Supreme Chancellor Darketh entered. The ancient ruler rarely attended council meetings, but this crisis demanded his attention. We keep calling them primitive, but what if we are wrong? Admiral Kethvar activated a holographic display showing Mordak's final message. The High Inquisitor's usually confident voice sounded shaken. Earth is not what we thought. The humans have technology that surpasses our best ships. They have somehow created a time differential around their entire planet. And they have done something that should be impossible. They have made evolution into a weapon. Evolution is not a weapon, General Morkes protested. For humans it is, Mordak's image continued. Every challenge makes them stronger. Every enemy teaches them something new. Every species that meets them becomes part of them. They do not conquer. They transform. Supreme Chancellor Darketh raised his hand for silence. How many ships do we have available for immediate deployment? Across all member species? Perhaps 10,000, Admiral Kethvar replied. Assemble them all. Earth has declared itself a Class Omega threat to galactic stability. The Supreme Chancellor's voice carried the weight of millions of years of galactic authority. We will deal with this human problem once and for all. Dr. Jiho Kim stood in the main control room of Earth's hidden defense network. Around him, screens showed the galaxy's response to High Inquisitor Mordak's report. Ships were moving from every corner of known space, all heading toward Earth. How many? He asked Colonel Yuna Kim, who had become his liaison to the military side of the operation. Our long-range sensors detect just over 10,000 ships, she replied calmly. Representatives from every major galactic civilization. And how many ships do we have? About 300, but that's not really the point. Colonel Yuna smiled. Jiho, what did your quantum research teach you about the relationship between size and effectiveness? That sometimes a small force applied at exactly the right point can move something enormous. Jiho looked at the tactical displays with new understanding. We're not planning to fight them ship to ship. No, we're planning to show them something they've never seen before. Unity. Dr. Nari Park worked in a laboratory that existed partially outside normal time. The time differential field she had helped perfect allowed the facility to experience days while only hours passed in normal space. This gave Earth's defenders crucial extra time to prepare. The field is stable across all 7 continents, she reported to Dr. Sun Ho Han. We can accelerate our preparations while the galactic fleet moves at normal speed. Excellent. How much time does that give us? Effectively, about 6 months of accelerated time before they arrive. Nari paused, watching calculations scroll across her screen. But there's something else. The field is having an unexpected effect on the aliens working with us. What kind of effect? They're changing, evolving, becoming something new. Nari showed him brain scans of several alien volunteers. Exposure to human thinking patterns while inside an accelerated time field is causing their neural structures to adapt. They're developing abilities their species never had before. Dr. Han studied the data with amazement. We're not just teaching them our technology, we're teaching them how to evolve. Do-Hyun Choi had traded his small house on Jeju Island for a position aboard Earth's most secret facility, a space station hidden inside an asteroid near Earth's moon. His ability to track and intercept alien communications had made him invaluable to the defense effort. I'm picking up command transmissions from the Galactic Fleet, he reported to the station commander. They're organizing into attack formations, but something is wrong. Wrong how? Asked Commander Jiwan Lee. They're arguing. The different species can't agree on how to approach Earth. Some want to negotiate, others want to destroy the planet immediately. Do-Yun adjusted his equipment to get a clearer signal. And there's something else. Some of their ships are receiving messages from crew members who were supposed to be missing. Our recruited aliens are talking to their home fleets? Yes, and from what I can understand, they're trying to convince their people that Earth is not a threat. Do-Hyun looked up from his equipment. Commander, I think we might be winning this war before it even starts. Detective Min-ji Yu had been promoted to Director of Global Integration, a job that involved helping newly arrived aliens adapt to Earth culture. She currently had 47 different species represented in her program, all learning what it meant to be part of something larger than themselves. The Nexari telepaths are having the most difficulty, she reported during the daily briefing. Their ability to read minds makes them uncomfortable with human unpredictability. And the others? Asked Dr. Han. Thriving. The Arcturians love our music. The Phazon enjoy our food diversity. The Kethmali are fascinated by our literature. Minji smiled. But all of them are amazed by the same thing. How quickly we accept differences and make them part of ourselves. That may be our greatest strength in the coming conflict, Dr. Han mused. We don't destroy what's different, we embrace it. Admiral Isul Park stood on the bridge of Earth's flagship, the Harmony. The ship represented everything humanity had learned about cooperation. Its hull was built with Nexari crystal technology. Its engines used Arcturian plasma drives. Its weapons were based on Phazon energy manipulation, and its computers ran on hybrid human-alien neural networks. Status report, she requested. All orbital defense platforms are online, reported her tactical officer. The lunar weapons array is charged and ready, and our fleet is in position. How many of our ships have mixed crews? All of them, Admiral. Every Earth vessel has humans working alongside aliens from at least 3 different species. The tactical officer smiled. Our crews are more diverse than the entire galactic fleet combined. Good. That diversity will be our advantage. Admiral, Park looked at the tactical display showing the approaching enemy fleet. They see us as one species threatening the galaxy. They don't understand that we've become something new, something that includes all of them. Supreme Chancellor Dar Keth reviewed the final battle plans aboard his personal dreadnought, the Galactic Authority. Around him, his staff prepared for what they believed would be a simple extermination mission. Planet Earth will be given one opportunity to surrender, he announced. If they refuse, we will demonstrate the power of 10,000 civilizations, united in purpose. And if they do surrender, asked his aide, then we will relocate the useful humans to various work colonies and destroy their planet anyway. We cannot allow this infection of rapid evolution to spread. The Supreme Chancellor looked at images of Earth with cold calculation. The galaxy has been stable for millions of years because we prevent dangerous species from developing. Earth will not be the exception, but as the massive galactic fleet approached Earth's solar system, they began receiving transmissions that confused their careful plans. The signals came from their own missing crew members, speaking to them from Earth. Commander Veltar appeared, on screens throughout the Arcturian fleet. My brothers, I have seen something wonderful here, a species that makes us stronger instead of weaker. The Phazon shapeshifters received messages from their missing scouts. We are not prisoners. We are pioneers. Come and see what we have become. Even High Inquisitor Mordak's own crew sent transmissions to their home fleet. The humans did not defeat us with weapons. They defeated us with hope. Supreme Chancellor Darketh watched these transmissions with growing alarm. Cut all communications with Earth immediately. Sir, our crews are demanding to know if their missing comrades are safe. Their missing comrades are corrupted. Earth has turned them into traitors. The Supreme Chancellor stood up from his command throne. No more communications. We proceed with total destruction. But doubt was already spreading through the galactic fleet. Pilots and soldiers began to wonder, what could make their bravest scouts choose to stay with an enemy? What had they discovered on Earth that was worth abandoning their entire civilization? Doctor, Jiho Kim, Dr. Nari Park, Do-hyun Choi, Detective Minji Yu, and thousands of other humans worked alongside their alien allies in the final preparations for the coming battle. They were outnumbered 30-1. Their enemy had weapons that could destroy planets, but they had something the galaxy had never seen before: perfect cooperation between species that had learned to see diversity as strength rather than weakness. REU. You ready? Dr. Sun Ho Han asked the assembled defenders. Ready to show them what evolution really means, replied Kyung, speaking for all the aliens who had chosen Earth as their new home. The battle for Earth's future was about to begin, but it would not be the kind of battle the galaxy expected. The moment had arrived. 10,000 ships from across the galaxy formed a massive fleet that blocked out the stars around Earth. Supreme Chancellor Darketh expected to find a primitive world cowering before galactic might. Instead, he found something that made his ancient blood run cold. Earth's defenses revealed themselves like a flower blooming in space. The quantum field that had hidden the planet's true capabilities suddenly dropped, and the galaxy could see what 50 years of human-alien cooperation had built. Orbital platforms the size of cities surrounded Earth like a protective shell. The moon had been transformed into a massive weapons array that glowed with contained energy. Space elevators reached up from every continent, their tops revealing launch platforms for ships that combined the best technology from dozens of different species. Impossible, Supreme Chancellor Darketh whispered as his sensors tried to count Earth's defenses. How did they build so much without us knowing? His tactical officer's voice shook as he delivered his report. Sir, I'm detecting over 2,000 individual defense platforms. Energy readings suggest weapons that are far beyond our current technology. And sir, their fleet is launching. From Earth's hidden bases came ships unlike anything the galaxy had ever seen. They were sleek and beautiful, clearly built by minds that saw technology as art rather than mere function. Each vessel bore the marks of multiple species working together, creating something greater than the sum of its parts. Dr. Jiho Kim stood in the main command center deep beneath Seoul, watching as Earth's true strength finally showed itself to the galaxy. Around him worked humans and aliens side by side, their combined knowledge creating defensive systems that seemed like magic. Quantum displacement fields are active, reported Dr. Nari Park from her station. Any attacking ship that gets too close will find itself scattered across several dimensions. Time dilation weapons are charged, added Kyung, his blue fingers dancing over controls that managed technology no single species could have created alone. We can trap entire fleets in temporal loops. Communication jammers are ready, Do-hyun Choi announced from his position. If they try to coordinate their attack, we can make their own communications turn against them. Dr. Jiho looked at the main display showing the massive enemy fleet. They still outnumber us 5-1. Numbers don't matter when you're fighting the wrong war, replied Colonel Yuna Kim. They came here to destroy a planet. But we're not fighting to save a planet. We're fighting to save an idea. What idea? That cooperation is stronger than conquest. That diversity is stronger than conformity. That evolution is stronger than stagnation. Colonel Yuna smiled. They can't defeat an idea with warships. Admiral Isel Park stood on the bridge of the Harmony, watching as Earth's fleet took its positions. Each ship in her command represented something the galaxy had never seen. Perfect integration between species that had learned to value their differences. All ships report ready, Admiral, announced her tactical officer, Anexari, whose crystal skin sparkled with excitement. Signal from the lunar base, Admiral, added her communications officer, a young human woman working alongside, a Phazon who could shift shapes to optimize his interface with the alien equipment. Admiral Tae-hyun Seo reports all weapons platforms are charged and ready. Admiral Park nodded. Tae-hyun had come a long way from his government office job. Now he commanded the most powerful defensive installation in known space, staffed by volunteers from 17 different species. Open a channel to the Galactic Fleet, Admiral Park ordered. Supreme Chancellor Darketh's image appeared on the main screen, his ancient face twisted with rage and confusion. You will surrender immediately, or face the consequences, Supreme Chancellor. Admiral Park replied calmly. We offer you the same choice we've offered every visitor to Earth. Join us in building something better, or leave in peace. You are in no position to make demands, human. I'm not making demands, I'm offering opportunities. Admiral Park gestured to her bridge crew, a perfect example of different species working in harmony. Every being you see here chose to be part of something larger than themselves. Even now, members of your own fleet are making the same choice. It was true. Even as the Supreme Chancellor spoke, ships throughout his fleet were receiving communications from their missing crew members. But these weren't the pleas of prisoners. They were invitations from people who had found something worth protecting. Detective Minji Yu worked in the communications center, coordinating with alien allies throughout the Galactic Fleet. Her screens showed dozens of conversations happening between Earth's recruited aliens and their former comrades. Commander Veltar is speaking with his replacement in the Arcturian fleet, she reported. He's explaining how Earth's approach to technology development could benefit their entire species. The Phazon shapeshifters are demonstrating new abilities they've developed while working with humans, added another operator. Their people are amazed by what they've become. And the Nexari telepaths are sharing mental images of Earth's cities, showing how dozens of species live together in harmony. Reported a third Dr. Sunho Han watched the communications reports with satisfaction. How many ships have requested permission to defect? Over 300 so far, Minji replied, and the number is growing every minute. Good. The Supreme Chancellor came here expecting to fight a war. Instead, he's watching his own fleet discover what we learned 50 years ago. Supreme Chancellor Darketh realized his careful plans were falling apart. Ship after ship in his fleet was requesting permission to approach Earth peacefully. Crew members were demanding to speak with their missing comrades. Some captains were openly questioning whether Earth really posed a threat to galactic stability. Sir, his communications officer reported, we're receiving a priority transmission from the Kethmali fleet. Put it through. The image that appeared showed a Kethmali admiral, but something was different about him. His posture was more confident, his eyes brighter with intelligence. Supreme Chancellor, I am Admiral Wukhtar of the Kethmali Defense Fleet. After speaking with our people on Earth, I must inform you that we are withdrawing from this assault. You cannot withdraw. This is a galactic emergency. Yes, it is, but not the kind you think. Admiral Wukhtar smiled, an expression that showed human influence on his alien features. Earth is not a threat to the galaxy, Supreme Chancellor. Earth is the galaxy's next step in evolution. More fleets began to withdraw. The Arcturians declared their intention to establish peaceful contact with Earth. The Phazon requested permission to send cultural exchange delegations. Even some of the more warlike species expressed curiosity about Earth's approach to cooperation. But Supreme Chancellor Darketh was not willing to accept defeat. If you will not help me destroy this threat, I will do it myself. He activated his personal fleet of the most loyal and fanatical ships, 2,000 vessels that would follow his orders without question, even if it meant destroying a planet. Begin the attack, he commanded. Earth's response was swift and decisive, but not what anyone expected. As the Supreme Chancellor's ships fired their planet-killing weapons, the energy blasts simply vanished. Earth's quantum displacement fields redirected the attacks into empty space, where they harmlessly dissipated. Ships that tried to approach Earth found themselves teleported to different locations, their crews unharmed, but their weapons disabled. The lunar defense platforms fired not weapons of destruction, but beams that interfaced directly with enemy ship computers, flooding them with images and data about Earth's civilization. Dr. Nari Park's time dilation weapons trapped several squadrons in temporal loops, giving their crews time to think about what they were really fighting for, while Earth's ships approached for peaceful contact. Within an hour, the Supreme Chancellor's attack had been completely neutralized without a single casualty on either side. Impossible, the Supreme Chancellor raged as his flagship found itself surrounded by Earth vessels. We are the most advanced military force in the galaxy. You are the most advanced military force the old galaxy ever produced, replied Admiral Park's voice over his communication system. But we represent something new. A galaxy where advancement comes from cooperation instead of conquest. Kyung materialized on the Supreme Chancellor's bridge, using teleportation technology that combined human quantum theory with Keth-Mali energy manipulation. Supreme Chancellor, my people fled to Earth because the galaxy would have destroyed us for being different. Here we learned that being different is a gift. You are traitors to your own species. No, we are pioneers for all species. Kyung gestured, and the bridge's main screen showed images of Earth cities where dozens of different alien species lived and worked together. Come and see what we have built. The images showed research laboratories where human creativity merged with alien knowledge to solve problems neither could handle alone. They showed schools where children from many species learned together. They showed artists creating beauty that no single species could imagine. This is what evolution looks like when fear doesn't control it, Kyung explained. This is what the galaxy could become. Supreme Chancellor Darketh stared at the images for a long time. Finally, he spoke in a voice that seemed older and more tired than before.